Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. On today's video, we are going over ADA Cardano as its price has just collapsed through the 2-month support line that we have been keeping an eye on. So as you can see, coming from July 20th, as the price did go up and start to retrace back down, we've been interacting with this 2-month support line over and over and over again. Well, as you can see, typically, the more times that we do touch it, the more at risk we become of losing it. And sadly, surprisingly for me, honestly, we did see that fall through and we did see the drop of our 2-month support line. I personally did not expect that to happen. I thought it was going to find that support, but at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. We just have to look at this from more of a long-term perspective, okay? So there are a few bullish technicals that are still starting to fire for me now that we are seeing this fall. I mean, this is like the worst case scenario right now, and we are still seeing a lot of bullish indicators. So I'm going to talk about good things that are happening right now and what we absolutely must see from ADA's price in order for us to still be within the realm of bullishness, okay? So first and foremost, what we need to be looking at right now is this, again, the same support line. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull up our RSI and do a little bit of comparing. So what we can see is that there is some type of bullish divergence forming on the ADA charts. So as you can see, we set this low here on July 19th and July 20th. The same thing on our RSI. Well, coming up, whenever we saw this retracement back down, the next touch on this line that we had was going to be on September 21st. The same exact thing on the RSI. Next up, we started to see that the price came back down to find another touch right around September 30th, which was going to be the same thing here. Now, one thing we can see is that things are diverging, though. Things are changing just a little. There's implications here. It's not full-blown bullish divergence, but there are implications here from what's happening from the RSI and the price. What we can see is that on the price, we then decided to roll through this line as the market went down. But as you can see, in my opinion, I credit this to the lack of red volume. We can see that the RSI actually has not dropped that line yet. What that tells me is that there is a very strong likelihood that if it keeps coming down to touch this line, that we may find a bounce, that there is this strong level of support that still has, the possibility to hold up, which could definitely bounce us back above our previous support line now established as resistance. These bullish divergences that happen tend to be acted out relatively soon. And so I'm curious to see that if the RSI is able to come back down and touch this line, say if it continues to drop just a little bit here, and we touch this trend line, and we find that support, that could be the bullish divergence that we need to see that big move back to the upside to get back above this line. That is still very, very within the realm of possibility, and it is a good thing. It's a good thing to see that although we are seeing a fall, although we also, seeing the price coming back down, collapsing, and people a little bit nervous, that we have these bullish possibilities and these bullish outcomes based on this divergence here. Now, another thing that I'm excited about that, kind of ease up my tensions, ease up my concerns a bit, is the fact that if we look at things like total market cap 2 and total market cap 3, well, realistically, they're still within this big move to the upside to retrace to this cup line, okay? So, of course, we have been testing this cup and handle pattern formation on total market cap 2 and total market cap 3. Now, what these are is total market cap 2 is the total market caps of all cryptos excluding Bitcoin, and total market cap 3 is the total market cap of all cryptos excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what you can see is that they've not dropped any key levels of support just yet. They are still within these uptrends to work their way back up to this cup line to see this big altcoin season play out. Same, that's total market cap 2, and same with total market cap 3. You can see here that we're tracing, of course, our trend line, our cup line there, and we're still very within the realm of an uptrend. Okay, we've not come back down to lose our previous low on either one of these. We're just seeing a bit of a correction back down to the downside. And we see this happen. We see things like this happen time and time again, especially during these big cycles. We'll see that ADA, for example, we'll see its price coming up and retracing back down to some level, some level of importance. And then it goes back up, it retraces back down to that level, and it goes up and it retraces back down to that level before finding that establishment of support and then seeing that big move to the upside. Because if we look at ADA's price during February and March and April, it's not doing much. It's just consolidating within this box after having set a new all-time high. But if we do go look at Bitcoin during that same exact time, we can see that Bitcoin was going up and marching. It wasn't retracing to those levels. It was going up and up and up and setting these highs while taking all the steam away from altcoins. Okay, we've seen that happen before. Then what happens? Bitcoin finds its peak. People start getting bored with it. They're ready for altcoins to go. And then boom, we see Bitcoin's price not doing as well while we see ADA's price, for example, absolutely flying, okay? And what it looks like is that right now we are seeing a similar formation play out for the ADA charts. What it looks like to me is, let's get rid of some of this. What it looks like to me is that we're coming back down to retrace back to some of our key levels. And boom, we may be looking at boom, boom. And then when Bitcoin's done, when Bitcoin's had its run and people have had their fun and they're ready for altcoins to go, altcoins are going to go, okay? So how do we know this is going to happen? How do we ensure that this is what's going to play out? Well, how we ensure that by staying above $1.87 to $1.90. That's going to be the key level that tells us, okay, are we good? Are we not good? Now, the reason I got to $1.87 to $1.90 is by taking our previous cycle here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go off of this previous all-time high that was set right around January of 2018. And then we're going to draw a Fibonacci all the way down to its low. What you can see is that the price during this entire move to the upside never came back down to lose its 0.618 level at 82 cents. We never dropped this level. We came back down into the 618786 green box, but we never lost it. Okay, we wicked into it multiple times. Boom, 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 boom. But we never lost it, and we continued the uptrend. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just simply draw a Fibonacci, again, from our previous all-time high, which is right up here. Let's get this moved a bit. There we go. Down to our lows. Our low that was set right there. And what you can see is we're doing something real similar, guys. We're doing something real similar in which the price goes up and we wick into it and we come into it and we come into it, but we don't drop this level, which is currently, let's just give it an exact number at $1.90. What you can see is that we have not lost that level. And if we are going to follow that same pattern, if we are going to see this thing hold some support, find its way back up to the top side, I believe we need to find these, keep these daily and weekly closes above $1.90. If we get a full weekly close under it, that's definitely a sign that we could be looking at, some type of push to the downside. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion. And that's what I think is within the realm of possibilities, is that if we drop $1.90, guys, we could be looking at $1.70 to $1.50. Those are both very, very possible on the loss of $1.90, okay? And so with that being said, we need to just keep an eye on that and watch to see that this pattern plays out. So what I'm looking for right now in the short term is to see if we are able to hold these key levels, okay? Let's go ahead and let's talk about some short term, then we'll talk about, the long term. So what I'm looking for right now is, remember, on the daily charts, we still are holding that trend line. And so look to see if we come back down to bounce, I'm going to draw this trend line for you just so you see exactly where it's at. If we come down to bounce, towards this level again, and we see that fall, look to see if we hold this level and find that reversal back up to the upside. That would, in my opinion, if that happens, bounce us back above this resistance line. Our whole game plan right now, the only goal that we have is to see the RSI start to flip and get us back above our previous level of support. We don't want to see this support line now acting as resistance and pushing us down. We want to work our way back above it, okay? That's the short-term goal. Now, good thing is, if we are able to, get back above it, we are definitely looking at a big move to the upside. That is my 100% full-blown opinion. But if we are to not do that in the short term, and we start to move and we start to bounce, I want to see that we stay above $1.90. I will not get extremely concerned until we lose $1.90, and that is my just current outlook on this total market. If we're above $1.90, we're still enacting the same type of pattern that we saw back here. If we drop $1.90, there's room for concern, as we may be looking at some type of continuous fall back down to the downside. And so with that being said, I will update you all as soon as anything major does happen. If we recapture some support or resistance, if we lose some support or anything like that, you'll be the first one to know by turning on the notifications when you do subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, guys, don't stare at the charts all day. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to change them. It's only going to stress you out. And so just go take a break, get away from the computer, just chill, and just wait for those notifications, as I'll let you know if anything crazy does happen. And so with that being said, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.